Breaking news right now involving Lamelo Ball, NB1, the one of one. Listen, Charlotte Hornets training camp has begun. They are live from Duke University. Change has come. Charles Lee is at the helm. I don't see a lot of funny business this time around. Change has come to the Queen City. You see the locale. It's destined for good, in my humble opinion. I'm not ready to say greatness just yet, but I believe that the Hornets are about to get back to where they were 2 seasons before all of this crazy mess done went on all over, from injuries to off the court stuff. But what I will say is this: Charlotte Hornets training camp has begun. Day one is in the books, and Charles Lee, Lamelo Ball, the number one thing you hear echoing is defense. The Charlotte Hornets are looking to take the next step defensively. Lamelo Ball has the length. You understand? He clearly, the height, the wingspan. He has the capabilities to be a good defender. Obviously, Melo has a lot on his table, in terms of scoring, facilitating. I mean, the man is just doing just about everything. He rebounds well for his position. I mean, seriously, to ask him to go out there and buckle down defensively, for 48 minutes could be a tall order. But LaMelo Ball seems to be taking that challenge. If you start to look at, the whole entire Eastern Conference, who's at the top? Who are they discussing? The Knicks, obviously the Sixers, Boston. Those teams obviously have a, immense defensive mindset and focus, that defense first. Charles Lee is an extension from Missoula. You understand? Charles Lee is coming here to bring that emphasis to Charlotte. And you've heard coaches, what was it? Pardon me, Clifford was supposed to come in and have a defensive approach. Clearly, Clifford, he's a decent, coach. I ain't gonna sit up here and trash him, but clearly he's just a little older. I think they need to get a guy. This is a young basketball team. Clifford will fit better with a veteran-led squad. This is a young team, and they need to get a young voice in there. And Charles Lee is perfect. You got a young president in there. You got Peterson, coming in there. I like what I'm seeing from the Charlotte Hornets. I believe that this is going to be a good year for them. LaMelo Ball, the ankle brace situation, we'll get to that too. Briefly, that's going to propel him to extend his season for the long haul, the duration. That's key for Melo. If LaMelo Ball is healthy, we know it last time when Melo was healthy, what it was, all-star. Lord have mercy, Hornets in the play-in, knocking on the door of the playoffs. That's going to be key, and all parties involved have to be with that. The Hornets already been dealt a devastating blow, with the whole Mark Williams situation. That potentially could deflate the air out the tank. The Hornets have been rolling this offseason, and Mark Williams is, bringing that injury tone back. It looked like the Hornets was turning that page, but clearly they have a player here in Mark Williams that, he wasn't ready to say he was injury prone, but listen, Flight Sports TV, I mean, he's a young man in this league, and it's just not a good look. He better get back, because if he doesn't get back, the Hornets will not reach his ultimate goal. It's not just LaMelo. The media, the critics, they'll have you thinking that the Hornets just need LaMelo to stay healthy. The Hornets need everybody. Mark Williams is a key piece to getting the Hornets where they need to be. And then look what you battling. You battling some of these teams down bottom. Miami, you can't expect them to be at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Look at Atlanta. Trae Young is coming back hungry. They just moved on from DeJounte. He got something to prove. Let me tell you something. DeJounte Murray going to do something out there in New Orleans. Trae Young going to be on a vengeance in Atlanta. So all of these things can affect the Charlotte Hornets. The Detroit Pistons. They got a new coaching staff. They got a new president in there. Trajan Landon is in there. Cade's there. They coming back a little healthy. They that's a problem. That's a potential issue, for the Charlotte Hornets. And we got a lot of these teams who have taken the next step where I believe the Hornets should be. You look at Orlando. Why the Hornets couldn't be where Orlando was at? We look at Cleveland. Obviously Cleveland traded for Mitchell that accelerated their potential. But why can't the Hornets be right there, with Orlando? I just, it sucks that Orlando just propelled ahead of them because they were right there with them, in that same kind of vicinity. But Orlando just was able to be a little bit more healthy. The Hornets, they just got to buckle down defensive. They got veterans here who understand what it takes to win. Taj Gibson is there, Kemba is there, to lead. Obviously, on the floor, you're going to be okay. Grant Williams is emphasizing and pushing. But it starts with LaMelo Ball. You understand? If you got LaMelo Ball defending, you got LaMelo Ball diving on the ball for loose balls. You got LaMelo Ball just sacrificing everything for the team. You're going to get everybody. What do you think that's going to do for KJ Simpson? For obviously a T-Jan. If LaMelo is doing it, that it's time for them. So, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting season to see if the Hornets can really, do some things and get back to that ultimate goal, which is knocking on the door for the postseason. I just felt like they got very far away from where they should be in the Eastern Conference, and it's really been unfortunate. The Hornets should have never been, a bottom dwelling team. They've always been better than that. But listen, they just went through a real tornado. Just got to call it how I see it. The Hornets have been in a serious jam, the past 2 years, and health has been at the forefront of all of it. And then Miles Bridges, obviously, he needs to get serious because he's going to be a big part of this team. I'm not concerned too much with LaMelo Ball, to be honest with you. A lot of people, what do you expect? What version of Melo are we getting? If LaMelo Ball is healthy, we have absolutely nothing to worry about. That's key. These ankle braces seem to keep him on the floor. Melo is you hear him. He said he's listening to everything, and they got a game plan, and he's following it. You understand? So clearly, these guys have, helped LaMelo Ball and the Hornets understand what's the bigger picture, and everybody is willing to sacrifice for the Hornets to get there. This is day one of training camp, and like I said, defense, and defense. We're gonna be back with you for day 2, day 3. Listen, we're going live this Sunday, New York City. What it look like? LaMelo Ball. I believe we're going to get our first look at Karl Anthony Towns. You don't want to miss it. It's Flight Sports TV. Peace and love. We got a lot more to cook.